Hi folks, and welcome back to my channel. Just before Christmas my mate Matt dropped off the parts that made up an SRA scooter at my place and asked me to put it together, which I've done over the last couple of weeks. And since we're planning of selling it, I'll just do this quick video to show you what it's all about. So this is a 1964 SRA, the A meaning it's an electric starter model. Also being a 1964, it already has the foot gear changer rather than the hand gear changer, which makes it a really comfortable ride. Now these foot shifters can be a little bit temperamental at times, but I refurbished the indexing box with new bushes, and as far as foot gear changes go, this is actually quite a good one. The electric starter on this particular bike works really well. I would say probably the best electric starter I've seen. So it's also got a Kickstarter on the other side, but you probably won't need it. Just looking in the engine bay here, it doesn't have the parts for the choke, but it's such a good starter, so you won't miss it. Also, it does not have the connecting air filter piece here that would connect to the air filter here, but a pot air filter is available for this carburetor from the Austrian dealers and could be put into this bike as well. Things I've done new, it's got new handles, a couple of handles. It's got a new fuel tap. It's got a new rear brake cable, and the clutch cable is new as well. When Matt dropped this bike off to me, the frame was already powder coated. So was the rear swing arm and the center stand, so they're powder coated. Other things I've done is I overhauled the front shock absorbers, so they got new seals and felts in them, obviously oil as well. I've also given the rear and front hubs new bearings and seals as well, so they're pretty good. So the things that are missing obviously is the trim here on that side door, the trim on the side of the footboards. There's a short corner trim here as well, and then there's a trim going all the way up here. There's a middle trim connecting the two sides, and all of that is not present on this bike, nor are the foot strips here. Now, on the website of the Austrian dealers you can find these ones. You can find everything that's connected to the foot strips. You can get those side trims, you can get that trim. What you can't get is these ones, but you could make them out of aluminium tube, or you could do it on the cheap and maybe use something like some chrome edging, which you can buy for places like, let's say, power rubber, or even some thicker edging like this one. And I think that would actually be quite a good solution, and would take care of all of the leak shield. And personally, in that case, what I would do, I would use the insert that's used in the RL, which is just a flat piece of aluminium, polished, and that just sits inside here, and not use the half round. But there's options here. Also, that piece of trim, that always gets damaged because it's really thin and flimsy. So again, that could just use that chrome trim that you can get from Power Rubber, and I guess you just heat it and shape it. Another thing I've done is I completely rewired the bike except for the wires coming out of the engines, because they were still good. So it's got a main loom that's new, the loom up to the handlebar switch is new. It's got a new handlebar switch, and it's only got one switch on the left hand side, which that's the light for your neutral, and obviously that's your ignition light. The horn works, turn the lights on, and you got your high and low beam. So this is a proper 12-volt battery system. Obviously the tail light works, and the brake light works with the foot brake as well. As far as the engine goes, I think it's a good engine. My mate Grant rehound the cylinder for me, and we made sure that we have got some really tight rings as well, so it should have good compression. It hasn't been run in yet, but it actually runs really nicely. I'm really happy with it. The most important thing for an SRA, it's a really good starter. So to turn the bike on, obviously you open your fuel tap. I'll put this one on reserve because I haven't got a hell of a lot of fuel, but it's a new fuel tap, and the inside of the tank is pretty clean as well. Then you just press that down until the fuel overflows from, and then you just push down the button. I'll just put this on the seat here because I want to have the hand on the throttle as well, and then you just press the button. So the exhaust is just a standard exhaust that was fitted to all later models SRAs in New Zealand. So these are not actually Puch exhausts, but pretty much all of the later Puch models in New Zealand have this single exhaust, and they're actually really good exhausts compared to the original ones, which are a maintenance nightmare. Well, this one actually, we cut it open, cleaned it all out and welded it up again, so that should be good enough for the next few years as well. Here's just a quick look under the bonnet. So you got your regulator here, your coil. The late models have the starter relays mounted on the rear right hand side. The bigger ones would have had it up here, but this is actually much easier. So it's just a cable going straight up to the battery here. Got a stay that holds the hood up. You can see the new fuel tab. Yeah. Looking here to the front, here's your fuse box. It's probably a bit dark. And the wiring. So what would it need to get this bike on the road? So for starters, here's the chassis number on the steering column. The engine number doesn't match, it's actually 40 numbers out, but both of them are from 1964. This bike, it's missing its type plate. That's the way I got it, but you can get new type plates from the Austrian dealers, and they already punch the numbers in it for you as well, so if you want that. The other thing that it will need obviously is a mirror, and it will need a reflector. I'm just run out of reflectors unfortunately, so otherwise I would put one on. The other thing is the tires. Now these are the original tires and they're in very good condition still on this bike, made in New Zealand. You may find that the person who verifies the vehicle wants to see a speed rating. These old tires don't have speed ratings, so you could either get new tires or maybe just borrow some tires from another bike to get it for certification. The other thing that will help you with certification obviously is some more paperwork, and my suggestion would be that you get in touch with the local branch of the Vintage Car Club where you live, and they will help you filling out the right forms to get an authenticity statement, but also a lighting endorsement for the indicators. And I suggest to always also get a lighting endorsement for the brake lights, because the front brake is not connected to the brake light, only the foot bonnets, which is standard for this type of bike for this year. But if you can get the lighting endorsement and the authenticity statement from the VCC, that will help you. And as I said, just contact the local branch of the Vintage Car Club to help you with that. Alright, that's about it. Any questions, let me know. And so this bike is going on to Trade Me very shortly. Cheers, bye.